Coming from a Zionist family, I've been to Israel about 9 times. These trips for the most part have been consecutive, and for the past 5 summers, I've been attending a camp in the gorgeous city of Michmoret, right outside Tel Aviv. This camp is comprised of Americans, Europeans, Asians, Australians, and of course, Israelis. Although not everyone knows Hebrew, they try very hard to completely immerse you in Israeli culture. I have made many friends during my time there, and every time I return to Israel and stay with them, I live like an Israeli. Although I have felt as if I knew the country as my own, at least from a cultural and linguistic perspective, Startup Nation delved deeper into the economics of the country and how it's been so successful in just 62 years of existence. It really broadened my understanding and taught me that I, in fact, did not know everything. The co-authors, Dan Senor and Saul Singer, are well-known figures in the Jewish community. Dan Senor is an adjunct senior fellow for Middle Eastern Studies. He was one of the longest-serving civilian officials in Iraq. For that accomplishment, he was awarded the highest civilian honor by the Pentagon. He has traveled and wrote extensively about the Middle East for many renowned newspapers and pamphlets. He now lives in New York with his wife and 2 sons. His co-author, Saul Singer, is a columnist for the Jerusalem Post. He has written many books and has been published in newspapers such as The Wall Street Journal and New York Times. Before making Aliyah, or moving to Israel, he was an advisor to the U.S. Congress. He now lives in Jerusalem with his wife and 3 daughters. Senor and Singer seem to see this reoccurring situation of individuals simply being uneducated of the society which Israel encompasses. They felt that one of the most important aspects about Israel as a whole was going completely unnoticed: their unbelievably strong economy. Did you know that Israel barely got hit during the 2008 economic crisis? How is that possible? Dan Senor and Saul Singer explore the basis of their economy and how it was able to withstand such a traumatic event for the rest of the world. I believe this book is an inspiration to all those who never knew that Israel was not only solely desert and beach. This is an incredible story of the miracle of advancement in an apparent war zone, which no one ever thought possible, and really opens the reader's eyes into a different facet of a country never really considered before. A quick overview of the book, Startup Nation, appears to be an oxymoron. Technology, entrepreneurship, chutzpah, military service, and innovation are all key aspects. The book is comprised of a plethora of short stories that all relate to the question, what is it about Israel that makes it so successful? One of the most compelling stories for me was one of a startup company called Fraud Sciences, based in Israel. PayPal, based in America, is the largest internet payment system in the world. The CEO, Scott Thompson, was told that Fraud Sciences had a solution to the problem of online payment scams, credit card fraud, and electronic identity theft. It turns out that Fraud Sciences came up with an uncomplicated technique that they learned in their army service. They claimed, when you've been developing technology to find terrorists, when lots of innocent lives hang in balance, then finding thieves is pretty simple. Their method was virtually more effective and quicker than PayPal's, and Scott Thompson was completely awestruck. After long negotiations, PayPal ended up buying out Fraud Sciences for $169 million. Wouldn't you like to know the secret that made Fraud Sciences such a threat that PayPal had to come up with that sum of money just to ensure their loyalty? How was it that a little baby company overran an American stronghold that has been in business a great deal longer than they had? Fraud Sciences is now a loyal and crucial member of the PayPal team. There are many more stories such as this one throughout the book that showcase a wide variety of the different aspects that come together to create such an unbelievable and a successful country. If I were to give it an evaluation grade, it would definitely receive an A in my book. The authors clearly examined and explained what they set out to prove: a combination of Army service, raw intelligence, and an entrepreneurial nature interact to create a people who have the innate drive to innovate and be successful. The Army itself plays a pivotal role in how they develop their company's technologies. Also, the lack of hierarchy enhances their questioning nature. No one is ever truly satisfied until every little question has been resolved. The author stated that to be successful, there had to be a willingness to take on higher authorities rather than simply following orders from the top. Because Israelis aren't afraid to be straight up with the powers that be, one American investor in Israeli startups explained, "It's immensely liberating. You rarely see people talk behind anybody's back in Israeli companies. You always know where you stand with everyone." This is the attitude that is reiterated all throughout the book. Not only does this book review Israel's economic and technological successes, it also provides information on how anyone with a certain mindset can be successful in a startup company, or even how to invest in them. Business people and venture capitalists would gain tremendously from this book. Young adults even, who don't really know what venture capitalism is or what the best ways to success are, could expand their knowledge and be more prepared for their future aspirations. The book is clearly written, however, if you are not into more factual sort of informative read, I do not recommend this for you. In conclusion, I would advocate Startup Nation to juniors in high school and above. I believe no one younger should read it because it gets quite technical at times and could go over his or her head, resulting in a biased view of the book. The only real way to understand the latent meaning is to be able to fully comprehend all its concepts and ideas. This is a very powerful book that gives a voice to a part of Israel that would otherwise go unheard.